Are you ready?
Yeah, fine. Should be. Hang on a minute. Get the sign. Call the meeting to order. Call it.
Schmidt.
Present.
Alt.
Here.
Jones.
Present.
Curtis.
Here.
Raymond.
Present.
Hanson.
Present. Any public comments?
Charlie, are you going to tell them about the insurance that the maintenance man wanted to spoke about?
Me?
Yeah, are you going to mention it to them? If you're not, then I'm going to.
Go ahead, I just got a memo on my,
Okay.
you sent me, didn't
Just
you?
at our committee meeting, the maintenance man came in and they said they used to have an insurance for boilers, the boiler insurance. They said it was with Hartford. And every time it came time for recertification, they would send their people there to inspect and recertify them a month before the state was due to inspect. And they would get that report to the state. That prevented the state from having to come here because, they can find a lot more wrong. Anyhow, it's not being done now for some reason.
Well,
And they wanted to know why, if the present insurance carrier is not doing that for them, or if they don't have boiler insurance, why they don't have it.
Anita sent us a memo yesterday, might repeat it.
Right. I did talk to Randy yesterday, and Randy verified that we do have that insurance coverage under Chubb. It's no longer with Hartford, it's with Chubb, and it is part of our coverage. And they will come and do the inspection for free, but we have to call them and request it. They're not going to just automatically come out.
Well, that's always the way it was. That's great.
There's
That's
some
what we do.
misremembering, maybe somebody's not remembering quite. They never just came out. We always had to call,
And we've not been calling everything.
so we've not been calling. So shame on us, we didn't call them to do it for free.
Okay. And that was another thing, it was free when the insurance company came and did it.
Well, part of our
State charges.
policy cost, but yes, right,
Well, it was in tribute
Now we're
cost,
paid
of course,
what?
yeah.
right.
Okay.
Me?
I guess, any other public comments? Okay, you're up.
We finished the renewal for Public Health Department, and wonder of wonders, the price stayed the same as last year. So that was good news. We also had the museum claim. I don't know how much everybody's up to speed on this. So there was a water leakage into the museum. Servpro came back after drying it out and said it was going to be pretty expensive to change. We got a contractor in there. He said it wasn't. We ended up withdrawing the claim. So there was no claim. It wasn't that bad.
Oh, it wasn't that bad.
No, it didn't get into that.
Well, that's good, that'll help our record.
Yep, it was. That's all I had.
Susie Warner.
Okay, well, as you guys know, we're currently working on the renewals for December. We did receive information back from Health Alliance. They are starting out right now at a 9.9% renewal, which we know is unacceptable for the county. So I am working my magic on my end to bring that down. We have the group out right now to bid for firm rates back from other carriers, so I then can send that to Health Alliance to bring that rate down. I should have those any day now, and once I get those, I'll be sending them over. So we're really working on this actively right now. I am waiting on the Delta renewal and the Kansas City Life renewal to come in. We should have those soon too, but my main concern is getting that medical renewal down to where it's affordable, because I know 9.9% is not going to work, and I won't be okay with that. So we'll make sure, we'll do our best, and I'll keep you guys posted as we go through.
You think we'll have that? We're gonna have budget hearings the end of this month.
Yes, I should have firm rates back from, I have, let's see, Blue Cross, Humana, United Healthcare, Aetna, and Cigna are all working on firm rates because I had to tell them we had the renewal and everything. Once I get those back, I'm going straight back to Health Alliance, and then they're going to work on their end, and I told them we have a deadline, and we're doing what we can. So
That's
we'll be
important
working on it.
for our budget.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Okay.
Is that it?
Yep, nothing else at the time. Things have been quiet on that end otherwise, but we're working, believe me, I'm working my butt off to make sure we get you guys really good renewals.
Okay.
All right?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh. Boy, it can be short. Ain't nobody here. All right. Lisa, you're up.
I don't have anything.
You don't have anything? Okay. Sheriff, how are you?
Good. Few things. I've got a new correctional officer hired. He starts July 15th. We had one retire June 30th. Roughly the difference ballpark figure, salary-wise, and some of the overtime issues, probably $14,000 to $15,000 range difference in what the new one's coming in at and what the retiree left at. We have probably a couple medical claims coming through next month. Had an inmate in the back that got into a couple fights with people, broke both hands, so he had both hands in casts.
Boy, that's a bad way to be.
Yeah, had a deputy that hurt his knee on last Thursday. We were down in Milford. The subject who was wanted and was also harassing a family. They've got an order of protection against him. He was at the house harassing him. He took off running, and we caught him, but the deputy tweaked his knee in one of the backyards chasing after him. So he's getting some follow-up attention. I haven't heard exactly what the prognosis is, but he's still on crutches. I stopped and saw him yesterday, and he's still on crutches. And then other than that, I'm going to put some numbers together for budget hearings. I spent some time with Larry. We kind of prioritized what capital expenses needs to be done. Right now, I think we're pretty good, other than maybe the front and back steps at the courthouse, which every so many years, the seals on those, they kind of caulk them, and it's not marble, but it's like a fake marble, whatever it is. Moisture gets in behind there and starts to cause some problems, so we're looking at getting some estimates on what it's going to take to seal those up. But other than that, the roofs are good. We've done the new water lines in the jail. The air conditioner, which needs to be redone, we think we can get done out of this year's budget. That's roughly between $9,000 and $10,000. But we think we can get that done under this year's, with some money left over in this year's budget. So my priority at the sheriff's office right now is kind of what the last 6 years I've talked to you folks about come budget time, and that's replacing squads. And so I'm talking with a local dealer here on a state bid on vehicles, and if it all works out, my plan is the 3 unmarked vehicles that we have range anywhere from 11 to 14 years old. One has over 200,000, the other 2 are approaching 200,000. I'd like to buy new for those vehicles, primarily because we can get 8 to 10 years out of those, because we don't put many miles on those. The investigators and that drive those, so they're not on patrol. Right now, what I'm looking at is, when you break down the cost, it's about $3,000 a year if we can keep those at a minimum 8 years, which we've had a couple of these vehicles already 10. Compared to a squad car, which we pay $25,000 for and get rid of after 2 years because of mileage, and so that breaks down to about $12,500 a year for those. But I'm looking at a few different options that I'll present the committee on getting that done. But as far as I think that's basically the only major capital expense I can see coming out of next year's budget. I know there was some talk. I have not gotten another estimate on the cell blocks. We did 6 years ago, and at that time it was about $100,000. However, right now, we've had A-Lease come in. We had a motor rebuild on one of them. We had A-Lease come in and tweak some stuff. And in the 20-plus years I've been there, the locking system is working better than it has. So if I'm prioritizing, squad cars are a priority, and that's the mobile office that's out there for the sheriff's office when we get called out to do things, and, you know, the cell blocks aren't detrimental to us right now. They're operating and still working, and we're still passing, the annual jail inspection with them, so.
I got a question.
Yeah.
The savings on the deputy, at a year, does he get a step like the other?
Yeah, he will, it's with corrections, and he will, but, you know, when you compare that to had the other one not retired, I mean, those increases each year are gonna keep that $14,000 to $15,000 range difference. Now, obviously, when this employee gets to 13 years on, you know, there's not gonna be much difference from the one that just retired, but it's gonna take several years for that gap to close.
Okay, so we can figure we got a couple years.
Yeah, easily, I would say.
You're gonna send out, paperwork for all the elected officials, right? When?
Right. The work papers are going to go out. They're almost all ready. They'll be out by Monday, Tuesday next week, all the worksheets, and it'll have all the salaries in. The thing that's a little challenging in the sheriff's department is that contract is up. The FOP contract ends November 30th of this year. So typically we see in the sheriff's office, you know, depending on seniority, 3 to 4 to 4.5%, overall around 4% salary increases year over year. Well, because there's nothing for next year other than their step, and a lot of them are like in between the steps. There are some years they don't get a step. I mean, it turns out to be less than 2% the increase for next year, which I think is an issue if we don't budget. I mean, we're going to be really understating what the cost is going to be. We haven't talked about negotiations with FOP. That's worrisome for me because your salaries year over year are looking really low right now.
I know the FOP rep was at the sheriff's office meeting with them last Friday. It was last Friday or 2 Fridays ago. I'm confident in saying this, but a little hesitant. I don't see any issues. I think the last contract was done before the expiration of the contract we're in now was done before the expiration of the previous one, and I haven't heard any grumblings or anything that would lead me to believe that this is going to be a long, drawn-out process. My guess would be that it's probably going to be pretty comparable to the last contract as far as what the two sides agreed to on increases.
Did anybody ever figure out what probation cost us? I mean, they basically didn't take much raise, but they
They
changed the hours.
took zero raise.
Yeah.
Zero raise, but less hours of work.
Yeah,
Less
less
hours.
hours.
So I don't know if there's a cost there we need to figure.
From cash outlay, it's the same. There's no,
There's no,
Yeah.
other than they'll get their seniority, their steps.
yeah. Okay, what, Charlie?
A question, on that first item you mentioned, I got you, what is this, wrist broke in notification with other people?
Both hands, yeah.
Was that other prisoners?
Yeah, other prisoners.
He needs to quit fighting. Everybody wants to get along now, he's got both of them. Yeah, what the hell are you gonna fight?
Sue the other prisoners, I'm sure they got a lot of money.
God. Yeah.
Masonry,
Is there anything else, Harry?
No, that's it.
No. This is, boy, that 10% on health insurance would be we gotta pray that gets done. That could be a killer.
Yeah, I don't know how much there is with the, what's the correct term for the federal insurance?
Affordable Care Act?
Yeah, how much there's gonna is there some of that kicking in this year that's gonna affect how?
Not really, I don't
Do
think.
they have to take care of more mental issues or some other type of?
Well, that's
thing?
been in our policy for years, so there's really, I mean, the additional insurance that's been required for routine exams at 100%, mental illness, dependency coverage, that all came in 3 years ago with the coverage.
Not expecting anything new then
Nothing
out of
new.
that.
We've always had that in our policy anyway, so it's not really that. I'll say this, that overall, we've been really, really lucky. I was at an Affordable Care Act meeting maybe a month ago, or a little less than a month ago, in Champaign, and they just took a tour of the, like, everybody raised their hands, what sort of increases they had been seeing. And I'm going to tell you, everybody had been seeing the last several years 10% a year. Well, we have seen nothing to 3%. So we've been really lucky, and I don't know how long we'll be able to keep that up.
Sounds like we'll get hit with 7 before it's done then,
I don't know.
if I had to guess.
Well, I hope for 4, but I got it.
Yep. It is a concern.
Yeah.
Yep, it's a big player and that percentage makes a big difference.
So, I mean, it's important to mention, to find this out before we start negotiating, because that's part of everybody's benefit. You know, cost there is a raise, even though they don't see it.
The city was on the radio this morning with their increase. I don't remember what it was, but they're quite shocked.
Nothing shocks me anymore.
I think it's 50%.
Hmm?
I think it's 50%.
I think it'll too. They pay 100% of it.
Oh, my God.
That would be,
Yeah.
God, that'd be devastating. That'd, yeah.
Buy a new carrier,
Huh?
new agent, broker?
And they pay all of it.
They pay all of it?
That's what they said.
That's their problem.
Which, who's this?
Oxyca.
What's he? Oh, my God.
Yeah, or anything.
That could be terrible. It is, so.
You would get alarmed again, wouldn't you?
Oh, it's making November look a lot better to me.
You said you didn't like surprises, but
Oh, what you guys gonna do? God bless you. Kyle, you got anything you snuck in your ass? No? Okay. That's all, Derek, so. Bob?
Really all I have is, I'm wrapping up interviews this week, and I will probably not tender an offer to anybody till end of July or early August, because they'll be tied up at the fair until the last week of July. So, but we've had a lot of good people interviewed, a lot of people looking for work, that are qualified, I mean, that are talented and qualified, so.
Easy to train people.
But I won't, like I said, I won't tender an offer. There'll be some savings there, obviously Betty's had over 20-some years in, and this will be coming in at entry level, so. As far as the number, exact number, I don't have that.
So, how's public health?
Very happy that Senate Bill 2047 passed both sides of the General Assembly, and the governor signed it last week. I have looked through it, it's over 400 pages long. We're still waiting on an IPH breakdown of what it exactly means, because the numbers obviously get distributed to local health departments, you know, based on their grant contracts. So it looks like we are going to be fully paid for all of our grant contracts. The only one I'm really concerned that we won't be paid with, because I couldn't find anything in Senate Bill 2047, was our preschool vision and hearing grant, which is $33,500, which isn't a lot. And we had a Board of Health meeting last night. I told the Board of Health that I intend to continue those services, whether we get reimbursed for that or not. You gotta do vision screenings and hearing screenings on the little kids early. So, that was really, the passing of that was really good news for us. It will pay us all contract amounts, allocated amounts for FY16 and for the first 6 months of FY17. Good news. We needed it. Today, the state of the health department right around $170,000 over $170,000. $148,000 of that are specifically for multifamily Illinois and family case management, which is on subcontract to IMH. The remaining $22,000 is for services we provide here at the health department. So it's good news that we're going to be getting those staff money.
Is that it? Bill?
Thank you.
I don't have anything. Okay. That's good. Well, at our last one, where are we at? Hang on, I'll double check this. All right, the budget you had, we talked about different dates. You want to run them by everybody here?
Okay, as I mentioned earlier, worksheets will go out to all the department heads Monday, Tuesday next week on estimating. I'd like to have them returned, I'm thinking by the 20th. That gives everybody, 5, 6, 7, 8 working days to get them back to me. There might be some going out tomorrow, maybe, depending on how quickly I get this done. The issue is that I'll be out of state the last week of July. I'm leaving here for a family wedding, and I won't be back until August 1st. So typically, we take this last week and we pick 3 days, like Monday, Tuesday, either Wednesday or Thursday. So I was thinking we could do one of two things. We're typically about an hour and a half to 2 hours each day. We could lengthen these and make it like a good half day and do it all in 2 days before I go.
Mm-hmm.
And then not get together. I told Kevin we could do like an overview day here, or this is finance. Oh, that's Barack Obama's birthday.
Wow.
Right there. We could have a longer finance meeting here, and at that time, I would have the numbers and kind of get a first blush of where we're at. Does that sound agreeable to people? I've kind of run the dates of the hearings by several department heads to see if that would work, and so far it seems okay. I haven't talked to everybody, but that's usually the way we do it. We don't, the outliers are NIDA for 911. She's going to run it by her board first, and she's looking to do that like July 19th, I think. So she'll be all done, hopefully, by the time we come, because we need that joint dispatch number. That's an issue. That comes out of our general fund. Public health, usually we don't look at that one until August, late August, I think it's been. They go through their board process and board approval first before she comes to us. So that would be excluded from those 2 days. But it would be all the general fund, the other miscellaneous funds that support the entire county. So that would be like the liability, the workers' comp, the group insurance, the capital improvement, all those types of funds, and highway.
Yeah.
Does that sound doable? Would you guys be available those 2 days?
You
Is
talking
that-
to us or the elected officials here?
I'm asking
Everybody.
this group right
Everybody.
here, and
What day is it now?
it'd be the 25th and the
25th.
25th and the 26th would be the hearing.
The Monday, Tuesday.
Monday, Tuesday.
I won't be here on the 25th, at the one.
You'll be there on the 26th and get out of the
Yeah. I'll be still there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's it. I try to push it back far enough to be past the fair, but I don't know. Does that sound okay? Okay. All right. I'll go ahead and schedule those then.
That sound good for you elected guys?
I might
I'll
go show my
be
kid.
back till Tuesday the 26th, so I'll be back at the hearing on the 26th, so that you can give me my worksheets first,
Mhm.
before anybody, then because I'll be gone the 15th, Friday the 15th.
Okay.
So I can get my worksheets turned back to you before I leave. next
Okay,
Friday.
you might be able to get them today.
All right, well, fine. Thank you.
Your little,
And just to let Anita know, I gave a preliminary budget to the Board of Health last night at the meeting, told them that I would have a final budget for them the first Wednesday in August, so we're a little earlier this year than we were last year.
okay. So we may be able to do that on the 4th.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put them in the two where we do the general fund, so we stay focused on those numbers, but we could look at it on the 4th, if you're done by then. When is your meeting on the
It's
4th?
the first Wednesday, I think, is that third?
3rd, it'd be the 3rd.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
So we should be okay?
Okay.
What time is that on the 25th?
Well, that's the other thing. What time did you want to meet? We've chosen a couple different times. We've started at 8 in the morning. We've started at 8:30. We started 9. We could do 9, whatever the committee wants.
What do you guys want? I mean, this is my last rodeo, so I can work with it.
Turn early, get done.
Yeah, I would.
You wanna do
but-
8?
Yeah, but you can live with it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna die. Actually, this morning I was up at 3, so,
Oh, it's a thunderstorm.
no, I just don't go.
You gotta have your sleep.
You want to start at 8 o'clock in the morning?
That sound good?
No? 8:30? Why don't we say 8:30 when the building typically opens?
Yeah, that's important,
Yeah,
is to have it here when,
Building ought to be open when we got it.
you know, 8 kind of puts the normal workload at,
No, it's a natural disaster.
8:30 work?
Okay.
High water, tornadoes.
Does it sound good to everybody? Does that make it a little
Yeah.
more palatable for the officials? Okay. Can't hear your head around the bottom, yes or no?
Not me. Hey,
All right,
Sleep pretty tired.
All right.
We don't do it.
8:30 would work. So let's do them 8:30. It's, that way we're not trying to get in here before normal business hours.
Okay.
Got it?
That's where we're at.
All right. So we got plenty of time yet. We don't have to have this till November, so. All right, countywide cleanup day. Larry Heffernan got us the paperwork from the elected officials and where they went. There's three different places, 3 or 4, that we can check and see if that would cause logistic problems as far as if we go with River Valley Recycling, we can just have people drop it at the old recycling center. I don't know what we would do with these.
Is there other sites other than that?
Well, no, we just talked to River Valley, we haven't talked to these people.
Oh, these are other sites.
These are the ones that the state used to
Other
use.
vendors.
I see.
You know, you got these from the guy,
From the senator's office.
yeah. You know, I've
I
been
think
trying
they
to,
set semis down.
is that what
I
they
think
did?
that one charged $6,000 set semi down.
Yeah, they did them at Big R parking lot
Yeah.
2 years with, with Josh Harms 1 year and then Bennett the next with Barrickman. And they had pallets, they had people help unload it, but then they had their own workers that stacked everything on pallets and shrink wrapped it and then forklifted it onto semi-trailers. They did it all right there at Big R.
That we'd have to contact Big R and see if they are willing to work with us on it. We could shop around and see if we can get a better price, I mean. Yeah,
Kevin, understanding the whole ideal you got in your mind here on this, which I do support your ideal, looking at it, what I've kind of felt after getting more information on this whole project that we'd like to do, keeping individual communities in control of it. Like we mentioned, what happened down at Cissna Park, what's happened, the positive things down there, what's happened in Norga, Crescent City, and just to mention a few, that have did this in their own communities that sounded pretty positive. And so what I'm thinking when I hear all this and look at all we're talking about here, that we're getting involved in areas that we're not really, have no expertise in, wouldn't we be better off to do a co-op with these local villages, townships, to have them do their own, where if they take it in, there's a cost to get rid of the stuff, or we can just cut to half, say, pay half the cost for them, or say 60% of the cost for them, and basically co-op it out of that fund.
Well, one we'd have to check with
That,
Jim.
and that way they get all their, because these small communities, they know who can be bringing the stuff in, who cannot be bringing it in. They can market it, because a lot of times they do it in conjunction with other things going on, so it's more of a community involvement thing. And every community is a little different than, from one end of the county to the other. So I think for getting the maximum service for the dollars, when we start throwing dollars at it, it'd be best just to throw money at the communities that's already doing it.
How do you do that with figuring the cost?
Well, I say a co-op until if they haul off, say, 5,000 pounds of electrical stuff, well, they got a bill for it, for the 5,000 pounds of electrical stuff, what we could come up with, and I'm not setting this in stone, but like 50%. So if they gave, say, $6,000 to have a load hauled off,
We might have shot ourselves in the foot. These guys are thinking we're going to do something. They're going to be happy with half of it.
these guys, meaning a vendor,
This is the second 5,000 pounds.
I'm not concerned about vendors.
You can go 50% up to a
Well, that's
certain dollar
the-
amount, so it doesn't, you don't get burnt on it.
Well, yeah, and
Well, it's even if we paid it all, it'd be $1,500 at 30 cents, and that's what River Valley quoted us, 25 to 30 cents.
so whatever the price is that they're paying, if they're paying a competitive price, that was River Valley, because they might have Uncle George hauling it off from another area. It doesn't have to go through River Valley, but whatever they want to do, we just pay a portion, or co-op, I'll use the term co-op, part of their expense to make it a positive thing for their neighborhood and basically keep it out of our ditches.
We'll keep it more local that way. People won't have to haul stuff so far.
That's
I
the
just-
important thing, is how far they have to haul it, because not everybody's got something to haul it. You have to lean against a neighbor that has a pickup truck to get it to wherever they're
Yeah.
going, and the less distance they have to go, the better off.
Right, you need to make it as convenient. And one thing about what I've seen on these smaller communities, like you're talking what happened down in the System Park, everybody gets involved with it then.
Yeah, it's a
And-
community
and
affair
involved,
then.
because they don't want to get involved with it so much if it's a county thing, but when it's a community thing, yes, they come together for their community. And we have problems with,
Well, the problem is, we're talking about just computers and
okay,
TVs,
right,
and a lot of them, like Arnarda, they did everything.
yeah. Well, I don't have a problem with paying for old tires getting thrown out either. That should be handled differently, but unfortunately, but
Well,
at
we'd have to
this
check
point, to expand on, I will stay with the electronics, and, but I think we ought to keep it in more of a, let communities do it, and us just co-op the cost of the getting rid of the electronic items.
What's everybody think?
I don't know. It's my
We'd have to check
thoughts.
with Jim and make sure that we can do that.
Well, we can't, because, believe me, we can't, Kevin. And I'm like, there's a whole bunch of things would have to set in stone before we even put the offer on the table to them, because unfortunately, there is sometimes that if you leave a blank check, people get carried away. But at the same time, I think this is the way we really should go about it, that we get that incoming.
Somebody's mowing.
That was the helicopter.
Oh.
One of your motorcycles.
Yeah, damn Vietnam days.
Yes, Sheriff.
The success that the senators and Senator Barrickman had on the two that he did, it was electronic equipment, but it gave people a another opportunity. Most of these villages do have their own cleanup days. This just allowed another opportunity for people to get rid of it. Now, they didn't check ID. I'm sure we got some stuff from Indiana, and I don't think they were too concerned about it because people aren't going to hesitate to cross the state line to throw something in the ditch. So, I mean, a central location, and it wouldn't have to be Watsika. I mean, if you did it, you could do it at the fairground, you could do it anywhere. Some people may not want to drive to Crescent City to dump it, but then they can get rid of it when they have their community. The village that they live in has their cleanup day, they can get rid of it at that time. This just gives another opportunity for people to turn in those electronic items. I think the thought in the past has been Watsika just because there's a lot of folks that come here for several reasons anyway, whether it's to go to Walmart or Big R or whatever it is they're going to do. So they're going to come anyway on a weekend, on a Saturday, and it just gave them another opportunity to get rid of this stuff. So,
Yeah, I think when they did it, wasn't there a whole bunch of paint that showed up too? Because they did take old paint at one time.
they took some of that. You can limit it to what you want. I mean, I had deputies out there, we collected old prescription drugs, and we collected, I don't know, what, 800 pounds or so of old prescription drugs that the DEA disposed of for us. So, I mean, you can put whatever you wanted there. You can pay a waste hauler to haul anything, but it's just going to be, I mean, you're going to write the check for it, whether it's mattresses or paint or whatever. If you want to limit it to electronics equipment and prescription drugs, I mean, I have no problem having a deputy out there collecting prescription drugs from folks. I get people on a weekly basis that come to my office and turn in Ziploc bags full of drugs they no longer take. So, my recommendation, and I don't really have a dog in the fight, is have a central location and just do it with the county, and it gives people that second opportunity that didn't get their stuff thrown away, and then you've got control of it. You know what your cost is going to be.
Yeah. I like the idea of both ideas, even if we kicked in a percentage to these small towns to have it. I mean, it won't cost much to have a day, and rather than having 2 or 3 days a year like we were talking, have 1 day a year and then support the local communities, keep it a community thing. I really don't know. What do you guys want to do? I mean, I've still got them emails that I got from United Google, but I haven't contacted them. It's pretty hard to ask somebody to help me. I'm not sure what the hell you're going to do.
Right. And it's just like this, how much money did you want to spend? What's the committee thinking there? Because, the sky's the limit.
Well, we're not getting nothing for interest.
Well,
But we got, what, 200 and some thousand?
we got a little bit left there, yeah.
We set aside only something less than 200,000 for what was left of.
What do we got there? And we put so much into the CD.
Yeah. That was
And the cash report isn't here today, so I don't have the numbers. We didn't get that, so.
30 or 60,000.
I thought we left,
30,000.
cash of maybe 60 or 75,000.
Yeah.
I think we took it, I don't know.
Well, we
I don't know
should
for
go
sure.
We went down to
Let's not go
even
nuts on this.
Yeah.
Well, we're getting TVs out of Chicago.
Well, we definitely don't want to spend more than 10% of our reserve.
Yeah. No, hell no.
Yeah, so if we got 200,000, 10% would be $20,000.
We had 230 or 260,000.
We might get 1% maybe. We get 1%?
No, probably lucky if you get a half,
I don't know.
0.75.
1.75.
Yeah,
So we're getting, what, 2,000?
something, yeah. I don't know how much 2,000 is, if there was 200,000 there, is there still IOUs? Because I know at one time there was some IOUs in that
No,
shoebox.
there are none.
Okay, good.
Those are all paid.
Good.
Yeah.
we've definitely got some names to look at and some pricing and how many communities we got? Different communities?
Well, we got, what, 26 townships? 27?
We ought to like to get something done by the August meeting if we plan to do
Yeah,
anything.
I'd like to too, but we gotta make some
Yeah,
decisions.
I like to see this done before November.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not so sure every community has a cleanup day either.
Yeah.
Some of these real small ones, I don't think, offer that.
And that day would be covered if we did one annual collection, whether it be at, like, somewhere like Big R, if they're agreeable, or River Valley, if they're agreeable, and then try to support the,
Well,
This parking lot, it's on Saturday. This parking lot, if it's on a Saturday.
unless it's a
you realize we gotta pick that shit up or something. If somebody drives and we're not here.
volleyball.
What do you think, Kyle?
I don't think you want to hear.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
It's up to you guys.
What's your thoughts?
Pick a spot, move on.
Would, these state politicians that's got involved with it before, would they be willing to get more involved with it again if we throw some money ourselves at them? Under like a co-op type thing?
I thought they came and said no. Didn't they come and say no, they weren't gonna do it?
Well, they had no funding coming in, I think, on their budgets to do it.
Well, they still don't have a budget.
Well, right, because that's one thing that's not in their budget. Their extra play money is not being budgeted until everything gets worked out. So they're limited there, but if we could maybe
The
throw...
brains of that operation that I gave you information on was Senator Bregman's aide. I have her name somewhere, I wrote it down in her phone number, she could call her anytime, she said. Bregman or Tom, neither one of them really arranged it, she arranged it.
Well, hell, it shouldn't be
You
that
think
complicated.
you think we could check with them and see if they would be interested, or we'd maybe fund some of it for them?
I can call her back and find out.
Yeah.
I have her name and number at home.
Yeah, and again, we need to throw a number out there that we're thinking about spending.
Well, we need to contact these towns that's done it and see what they spend.
Yeah, before we do anything, we need to think of how much do we want to spend.
Well, if we get a rough idea from the towns that have already done it,
It does. I think we're going about backwards. We need to know how much we want to spend before we go
We
in for...
established that once, and then we said we're not going to tell anybody because it's going to be spent. We told
Okay.
them that.
Oh,
Plus more.
okay, what was the
Very
figure?
first time.
What was the figure?
I thought it was something either $30,000 or $60,000. We reinvested.
No.
We invested $200,000.
There's a second on the left.
Total was
That might
something
be
like
fine, but I ain't
$200,000.
spending no $30,000.
What was you thinking, Gavin? Again, let's get this number worked out, because I can't go nowhere without this number.
Oh, wait, hell,
We saved something back from that renewal of a CD to pay for the day, whatever that figure was.
We left some liquid in the account that we did not lock up in a CD.
That's right.
Yeah, right.
What I'm
That
saying.
didn't mean it was...
That didn't mean we was gonna plan on spending it all, at least I did not.
No, me neither.
Well,
Well, sometimes we gotta keep around because somebody needs to borrow a little bit out our left pocket. and-
See, that was the key importance of this one central location, because we would get an idea of what it would cost. You know, we don't know. I mean, how do you guess that?
Yeah. I'm gonna continue to drive around the block in circles until I get a dollar amount in my head from this committee.
Well, there sure as hell ain't gonna
Well,
be,
say a number.
ain't gonna be no $30,000.
Say a number. Everybody just say a number then. We gotta have a number though. I can't have a goal without I know where we're going at with the
If,
goal.
Larry, if you can find out what they spent for the county...
$6,000, it's on there.
How much?
6,000, I wrote it down there.
Yeah, okay, now you're talking my language. Hell,
Our total was 6,000, total was 6,000, one vendor was
Yeah,
6,000.
Charged $6,000, but took all electronics, including TVs.
What they do on that is they provide the folks to shrink wrap it and stack it with the forklift, you have to provide the help to unload it off vehicles. So what they would do is they contacted the Lions Club, the Elks, the Kiwanis, some of these groups. I mean, you could probably even get the football team out there if you wanted to. And you just had to have volunteers that as people pulled up in their pickup trucks would unload these things, place them on a pallet, and there would be one of the people from this company situating it like a puzzle on there, and then another one would shrink wrap it, and a third one would grab it with a forklift and load it. So getting the volunteers to help unload these vehicles won't be a problem, because you've got numerous groups in town that would.
Now you're talking this six, 8,000, that's more the range I was thinking. And if we want to, if it goes good and these local communities are doing it, we could come up with so much in town that's doing it. And that way we should have even the local communities that aren't covered.
Your location would be the next thing. I don't know who they talked with out of Big R, but both years they had it at Big R on the east side of their lot.
Well, a lot of times a place like that would make sense because the business benefits from the traffic from it, and so there's a lot of other folks that can benefit from it, so let's try to make it all work together.
Yeah.
So everybody benefits best we can.
Yeah, if they stop at Big R to drop off their TV, they might go in and buy some, so that's good for them.
Forklift it runs.
And in conjunction with the grand opening of the new Casey.
God, you like give me a heart attack. $30,000, Jesus Christ.
Okay.
I only said
So-
what I
so
thought
I know.
it was. I didn't say you were spending that.
So
I'm in Grinch mode here, you know, it's budget season.
Yeah.
on that $6,000, on that $6,000 they should be spending, was there poundage, or is it just
I-
a flat fee?
I don't know. Did she happen to say on that 6,000 if that was a poundage or a flat fee?
You know, I asked her if they took it by the pound, and she didn't know.
Hmm.
She didn't know that.
Well, thanks for your effort. I really appreciate this. We need to get something done here, and we seem to be jugglers.
Let's get out of this. Seems to be dragging on way too long.
Yeah, we're killing it because
Yeah. Sounds like something for a subcommittee if you're going to get much more involved.
well, we can check with these outfits and see, and try to get the best bang for our buck.
Well, if Russell wants a number, why don't you just double what that is?
Yeah,
Maybe
just
we
12.
save
Yeah.
about $12,000.
I would go with that.
Up to.
So, kind of like push your budget line.
All right. What do you guys say? I'm just one vote here. Yeah, 12 is better. 12's livable.
Not to exceed 10,000. You're not gonna know them.
Yeah.
They're not
What are you
gonna
gonna
wait
do?
it till the end.
When they get up to a certain amount,
They're not gonna wait.
shut the door and come right and let people come back next year.
Leave it on your truck until we have another one.
All we need is a good lightning storm. There'll be all kinds of it laying there.
Could be less, too.
Because of the first year and the possibility of doing it different ways if it's successful, I'd say go with the 12.
Yep.
And let's see how it works, and next year we'll have an idea on budgeting. I don't know what we're going to do, you know, I don't know what we'd do if we went over.
Well, if you call that company and find out if that 6,000 was by the tonnage,
Yeah.
And their phone number's there.
And
All right.
they only bring so many trucks, so they can only take so
because
much.
they were busy both those days. There were cars and trucks lined up most of the day that they ran, and you're running it for a certain, you don't have to run it all day. You know, you could run it for 4 hours or 6 hours or whatever, you could, you know.
So the truck fills up and then it leaves.
Who's got the pallets?
Well, they furnish the pallet.
They brought all that, the string the pallet, the forklift, all that, they wrapped it, loaded it up, they just needed folks to unload.
Yeah, they just want people to unload it and set it in a given area where they can take it and manage the logistics of the whole operation, basically. In other words, getting it on a pallet, shrink wrapping it on a truck where they can get the maximum amount on the truck.
And I like your idea, Russ. I would, in the future, I would
Well, and that's just an ideal. That was just an
Look, we
ideal.
should look into it with the communities
I
and
really
see if they're
thought-
gonna do it locally and get an idea, of, you know, if we could kick in like a,
I thought at one time we had it, we were gonna do it at one spot.
yeah.
And we advised every community to get together and put your load together in your community and bring it to the site.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
local Boy Scouts or whatever was to load it and get it all to that one site.
But it's hard to contact them until we get a plan in place.
Well,
I mean, what are you gonna do? Call them up and say, hey, we're thinking about this, but we're not sure? Well, how can they make a plan, you know?
I agree. You gotta have a plan.
So we have a plan on the dollar
A plan and a
amount
date.
up to this, and
You have a plan and a date, so they know when to have this done.
okay, and we need to contact these people.
Well, you can. And
Oh,
also you can contact your original contact and see if they're interested in doing basically the same thing at a parking lot like that.
Yeah,
That
should be
I
community.
think the forklift to get around,
We'd like to-
around in that
yeah.
parking lot and it will theirs.
Yeah, that's true.
Papers too.
And people do come here to go grocery shopping.
Right.
So, well, I'll try to get a hold of these people and get quotes and see, and then I'll contact River Valley. I got him on speed dial.
So, should we set this in stone? We're thinking $12,000 max.
Up to,
Up to $12,000.
that's a lot. Boy, that's going to be shit on TVs.
TV monitors, what do you do with monitors? Right there, okay.
Well, and I need to ask these about TVs and computer stuff. Is that what we're going for, right?
Electronics.
Yeah, electronic equipment.
Electronic equipment, including computers, okay. I better write this down.
Yeah, I think your folks at River Valley had more of a legal description broke down on their piece of paper originally, Kevin?
Yeah, it'd be. But getting these other people involved would make our situation better. So,
You need a motion.
sounds like a plan to me.
Move to spend up to $12,000 on the recycling of electronics for countywide event.
TV and electronics.
Want to put a date on it, so we know what we're talking about?
No, we don't have a date.
So we're talking to what? The
First Saturday after the Labor Day.
Yeah, first Saturday after Labor Day.
Before-
Tentative.
And before November.
I'll try to get all these people this week and have something for us by Tuesday.
September 10th.
You want to put a date on it?
Tentatively set for,
Tentative,
Yeah.
September 10th.
Yeah, well, tentative was set for September.
Hey, Russell, you're a local Watsika guy. You want to
that
talk to
means we
Big
can
R?
change it without
See
real,
if they'd be receptive if we can get it set up?
What?
with,
I'm sure the local newspaper will tell Big R what we're thinking.
Related to one guy, so I'm not sure if he knows me. At least we're moving forward.
There's a second for his dance motion.
Okay. Call the roll.
Schmidt?
Yeah.
Alt?
yes.
Bill?
Yeah.
Curtis?
Yes.
Raymond?
Yes.
Hanson?
Yeah. I'll try to have this for us by Tuesday, so we know prices. And we can discuss it. If anything comes up, we can discuss it at the board in front of God and everybody. That'll get the word out that what we're doing. You know, we're trying to do. Good intention. Okay, we're done with that then. Anybody hear any more on the one? None of that. Okay, anybody want to approve the claims?
I make a motion.
I'll second it.
Any that are, okay.
Schmidt?
Yeah.
Alt?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Curtis?
Yes.
Raymond?
Yes.
Hanson?
Yeah. Any old business? Any new business? Anybody want to go home?
I move to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.